we were up in the conference room here having a meeting, as we do every week, like 10 or 12 of us around a table, and the meeting was winding up. Everything had been done on the agenda, and somebody looked at me and said, "How's Biggie's health? What's the latest with his health?" And I said, "Man, I don't know. I haven't even talked to him about that in a couple of weeks." And he said, "But you see him all day, every day, and you haven't checked in on his health." And I said, "No." And the guy said, "Isn't Biggie your best friend?" And I said, "Yeah, he is." And I have,
no, he's not.
I have let this man down. I haven't even asked him about his health in a while. Too focused on my own. Yesterday, I blathered on about not being able to get into a fantasy football league because I wasn't feeling mentally up for it. And look at you struggling every day.
Physical pain.
Shortness of breath, all going through this terrible thing, this pandemic still. And here I haven't even asked you a thing about your health. So why don't you? The floor is yours.
All right. Well, nothing's changed.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, that's what I told myself. I'm thinking things changed.
No.
Do you have any appointments on the horizon, Biggie?
I do, yes. Next week, I do. We think we have an MRI available now.
Is there anything you need to do to prepare for the appointment?
No, not well. I mean, once we get the MRI on the books, there will be.
Now, last time you scheduled this, they put you in the wrong MRI machine because they couldn't.
Little tight.
A little bit tight. And this time they found one that will work.
Yes.
Is it close by or do you have to drive?
No, I'll have to drive. Well, about a city over. Not too bad.
How far are you driving?
Oh, just about 20 miles.
Let me ask you if you would do this if you were me. I'm sorry, this is supposed to be about you. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm so sorry. When you were talking about driving at 25 miles.
I tell people all the time, the best thing that you do is make it about yourself.
It's an uncanny talent, really.
Yeah.
Is that my gift?
Yes, it is.
Is that my
Everybody
talent?
has something.
Yeah.
Oh, as soon as you were talking about driving a long distance.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Something about myself.
Yeah.
Myself.
I'd have to stop and put oil in my car to drive that far.
That's true. That is something. There is we live in Guilford County, North Carolina, and yesterday the county commissioners voted to reinstate a mask mandate. This county only. I guess other counties may do it or have done it. I don't know. But this county only. Indoors, you have to wear a mask. And that really hurt. That really hurt me.
It stings.
You know, it's not even so much the mask, which is just a minor inconvenience. It's just the
going backwards.
Psychological going backwards. I mean,
you know, it's interesting. Obviously, we do most of our working and shopping here. And over the last 2 weeks, I have noticed a dramatic increase in the number of people wearing masks.
Me too.
In stores, just grocery stores. And, you know, we don't go many places.
I think it's.
But the numbers
I agree.
are way up.
I've seen it too. I think, but I haven't. And I think people are doing that because, of course, they see these reports of this Delta variant. And they know, even if they're vaccinated, there are breakthrough cases, of course. So they're just doing extra layer protection.
And you never know. You never know who's not.
You never know who is and who's not. That's right.
No.
So people are, you're right, they're putting them back on. But when they mandated it, I just thought, God, it just was so deflating to me. You know, I admitted yesterday, this was hurting me because, I mean, we went through it and it was bad. And then it looked like, 6 weeks ago, it's like, okay, we've come out of it now. Things are reopening and numbers are way down and it looked really good. And now it's back to the point that they're having to reinstate a mask mandate here. Now, here's what I do daily. I go to the gym. And I work out. It's a hard workout every day. And doing it with that mask on, which I did for about 6 months, was just, I hated it. I mean, and when the mask came off, everybody was like, yes, So now it's been a couple of months without the mask. I'm considering driving 30 miles a day to a different county to go.
A no-mask county?
A no-mask county. For now. I mean, who knows until they put it back on.
I'm going to tell you, that county will follow suit shortly.
I wouldn't doubt it.
The one you're thinking of, I think they think like this county.
I do too. You think they follow?
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about going to Forsyth County,
other.
whereas Guilford County goes first. Well, let me tell you something. If those two fall, I'm going to Orange County, which is an hour away.
Orange?
I'll go wherever. I'll go to Wake County, which is an hour and a half away. Doesn't matter to me.
Let me ask you this. Is it just that you feel like if you put the mask back on, that it is going back? Like, You're willing to drive to feel like things are somewhat normal.
No, that's more physical. The gym. I mean, in the grocery store, it's a mental. Oh crap, we're going backwards. In the gym, it's I can't breathe. I mean, it's a pain. It's terrible. So I'm willing to drive 30 miles to not wear the mask, even up to 60 miles to not wear the mask daily. Daily. That's how much I want to not wear the mask in the gym. God, when I saw it today, I heard rumor of it yesterday. I said, no, that's not going to happen. We're not going to go backwards. We are. We have. We're going backwards.
Well, I've seen some weird things, though, about this and these mask mandates. It says, there is now a mandate that you must wear them.
Indoors.
Yes. But then I see things like, well, they don't know if anyone's going to enforce it.
Oh, really? But a company would have to, wouldn't they? I mean,
Well, I guess it depends on the store. It depends on, I think kind of who do you call? Do you call the sheriff and say people are in my store without a mask?
Well, I used to play tennis, and over the winter indoors we had these. We would play tennis on Thursday nights, and you were supposed to wear a mask. This is back when you were supposed to wear a mask indoors. Over the winter, and we were wearing them for a while, and then one night, the coach, the guy in charge, said, I don't care if you guys take those off. It was a big building, and we weren't that close together anyway. He's like, take those off if you want. So we took them off. Well, the sheriff came in. The cops came in. Everybody's like, get your mask. They were testing. And they said that the tennis courts themselves, the indoor facility, the park, would be fined, I believe it was $100 for every single person not wearing their mask anytime they dropped by. And they gave us a warning that night. And then it was like, grab your mask. So that was a big pain. So I wonder, and does that mean, here we are, a private workplace. Does that mean we're going to be wearing masks in the common areas again? I bet so. But that's how it's going to be. Bet my meetings are going to go back to Zoom again. And it's just, God, it just is a kick in the gut when you start going backwards like that. Well, last night, my daughter's had a school meeting, open house, which cost me my pickleball match last night.
Yeah, some kids are so selfish.
That's what I said. All the guys are like, why are you not playing? I was like, my selfish daughter has to go to her open house at a school.
Were you present for your daughter?
Well, I tried to be, but mostly I was thinking about pickle. I was thinking a lot about what the guys were doing.
Yeah, even off air yesterday, you're complaining about that. Oh, my God, my daughter.
Yeah.
Well, I love my daughter more than anything. But, I didn't really need to be there for that. This was a one-parent thing. You just hear, where's pick up and drop, that kind of thing. It was just going over the stuff, which we had.
At what age do they stop doing or parent orientation?
Well, she's going into a middle school, and they do it different. They do it at different times, I guess.
I remember the last time my parents went,
I know,
before school started.
Right. They start in a week. Well, nobody was masked, and it was a meeting of 200 people in an auditorium, and nobody was masked at all. And they said, we're going to try to do the school year basically normal, mask optional if you want to. But now that's all changed because they're in the county. That'll change. Jeff, you're talking about masks, and at least our county going back to a mask mandate indoors. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a high school tennis coach in Guilford County, and they made us wear masks outside coaching. Ooh. And they're talking about doing that again. And it's like we're 6 feet apart, but still have to wear masks. So I didn't really understand, but there is talk about doing it again.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's just a kick in the gut to me that we're doing that again. Don't you think?
Oh yeah, I hope we don't do it because it'd be 93, 94 degrees wearing that mask, running outside.
Man. Yeah, that's tough. That is really difficult. I'm sure, that's just how it is. Thank you, Jeff. You try to be positive as much as you can, but I think it's just wearing on everybody. Now it's been, and we used to say, last summer we'd say, well, next summer this time, next year this time. Well, now we're still, we've never gotten over that hump. And it just gets to you where my God, how much more of this can we take? There's so much pandemic fatigue. Then again, people are out shopping and doing, and we're not closing anything again. So at least there's that. But there's a lot of, at least I have, pandemic fatigue. It is really set in on me.
Well, do you want to, which I don't know if this is, instead of shutting, do you just say we leave it as it is, and look, at this point, if you're unvaccinated and you get it and you spread it to your family and grandma dies, well, that ain't my problem.
I don't like when you put it like that.
Well, because
but,
but I'm saying
I was
that's
with you. I was
almost
with you.
had him.
That
You
is
lost-
the way I feel.
You lost him at the close, Big.
But I'm
is the
saying
way I feel.
that's
Yeah.
where I'm
Dead
moving
meatballs.
to.
Well,
I
I mean-
started to realize like most people I associate with,
Yeah.
most people I trust,
Yeah.
have a vaccine.
Yeah.
So now, if you don't, I mean, we've made it clear.
Yes.
So now, and I'm like, okay, well, they want to live their life that
Yeah.
way, but if they get it,
Yeah.
they might be fine. But if they kill their grandma, don't look for me for sympathy.
Well, I felt that I agree with you.
Because I'm seeing that.
Yes.
I'm seeing people. It's spread around families, and they might not die, but they might kill someone they love. And if they're good with that, then I'm good with
Well,
that.
that's what I thought we were going to do. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what I think that's basically what most states are doing. Some states, at least, are doing. I mean, our governor hasn't said
Yeah.
mandate. It's the county that's doing it. And so, yeah, I do feel that way. Of course, then when you start saying grandma, you're like, oh, geez.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
right.
hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
The kids who can't get vaccinated.
Yeah.
That's the problem,
Yeah,
too.
see?
Some kids can't get
They can't
vaccinated.
get vaccinated. I do feel for those who cannot get
Like
vaccinated.
under 12 years old.
Yes.
I mean, that's a
yes.
lot of people.
But I'm just saying, I think some of it, I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, we can't protect. We can only protect people for so long before they have their own choice to make.
Well, the choice is there. You
Yeah.
can make the choice if you want to. Yeah, I do. That's the way I would be. I would keep it as is. Now, I might mask up if you're under 12. I might say, okay, because you need to protect yourself. But otherwise, yeah, that's
And
pretty much where I
look,
am.
I think if you want to wear a mask in somewhere,
Do it. Do it.
Feel free.
Absolutely.
You know, my mom has never taken off
Right.
the mask, and she's vaccinated.
Fine. Absolutely
Yeah,
fine.
and she's fine with that. She's like you now, where she's just getting tired of this.
Yes. I mean, I'm against the mandate. I think we should have kept it as it is, except for those under 12 or those, you know,
Yeah.
and I would say it's optional if even if you're vaccinated. Jay, you're talking about the mask. We just got a new mandate in our county. You have to wear them indoors. Go ahead.
Yeah, hey, buddy. Love the show, guys. Love all of you.
Thank you.
Hey, buddy. I delivered a big box store all around Raleigh, Cary, Holly Springs, and it's weird this time. The managers aren't handing out masks and kind of enforcing it as much, and some of the workers don't have them, some do. It's strange this time. It is weird. You say that earlier, and it is true. It's different this time, it seems, so far.
Well, yeah. Well, ours doesn't go into effect until Friday, but I think what Biggie was saying was like, I don't think people want to enforce it. I think they want to just be like, let's just keep going the way we are, because it is such a step backwards. It's a mentality of, am I going to enforce this? Am I going to make people wear masks again? When a lot of us have gotten the vaccine and don't feel like we need the mask anymore. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it. And, you know, it's not even really about, again, it doesn't bother me that much to wear the mask, except at the gym. That is I don't want to make it about me. This is not about me. What did Governor Cuomo say yesterday? It's not about me, it's about we. That's when he was resigning.
See, I just wonder, though, if you could
The
go to your,
finest hour.
That's right. That's right. What are you saying, Big?
I just wonder if you could go to your class and the coach could take a poll. Who wants to wear, you know, all in favor of masks,
Yeah.
you know, and the majority wins out.
Well,
Or you just say, or could they do mask and unmasked classes?
But right now it's optional.
Yeah.
Well, they could do that. They could do that. But you know, I go to a small boutique gym. Okay, that's my forte.
When did that phrase come
A
up?
boutique gym.
Because you don't want to be lumped in with the vape joints.
Well, a lot of people go to larger gyms,
Yes,
of course.
the national chains
Will they enforce?
with miles of treadmills.
Correct. Will they enforce? You know, how are they going to do it? I don't know.
I'm just tired of making laws trying to protect those who don't care about me.
You said it perfectly. You did. I mean, that's exactly right.
I'm just tired of that.
I saw online somebody this week and said it's no longer survival of the fittest, it's survival of the smartest. If you're so stupid, you're not getting this vaccine. Stop punishing the rest of us who are doing the
I
right
got the
thing.
vaccine. I want to live my life.
Exactly. Me too. And that's the way I thought they were going to leave it. So I don't like this ruling. Here's the only problem, though. Some of these hospitals are being overrun again. You know.
Oh yeah. Now,
You
if you
hear
have
that again.
if I have a heart attack, which could happen at any given moment,
Yes.
I'm pretty much screwed.
Right, but that's probably why they're doing it.
Yeah.
You know, they just
Yeah.
like, if your hospitals get overrun, that was the problem the first time
That
around.
is part of it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. You should, when you say if grandma dies, it's like, oh geez, there's a person. You know,
Well,
then
I'm
you
just
think,
saying, but that's where we're at. Look,
Yeah.
you see this each day. You see the people getting it who are unvaccinated, getting very sick, and then those people either they want the vaccine at the last minute or they want us to pray for them. I'm past all that.
Yeah, we've done the right thing. You should have gotten the vaccine.
Yeah.
You had your choice. You know it's there.
You're living. Yes, at this point, we all know where we're at.
Of course. Blogger Jen, What favorite P1? One of my all-time favorite P1s. She used to go to the boutique gym where I go. I don't want to make this about me. Blogger Jen, you work in healthcare. You can speak to this. Go ahead.
I do. No, I read something yesterday from an MD that was saying that the states with the lowest vaccination rates have the highest rates of child infection of COVID.
Yeah.
And that totally makes sense because the adults are the ones protecting the children because they can get vaccinated.
Of course. So it just, doesn't what Biggie's saying make sense? It's like, we've done the right thing. The vaccine is there. Let's just keep living. And if you want the vaccine, go get it. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I kind of do. Unfortunately, it's kind of, like you said, survival of the smartest.
Right. That's what it's become.
I still see people minimizing the vaccine on Facebook, or not the vaccine, but the virus on Facebook.
Right.
Healthcare workers that I know that don't get it, and that blows my mind.
Me too. When we had a hospital here, it's called Moses Cone, and they were enforcing where you had to get the vaccine, and people protested, like nurses, and were out protesting, and that blew my mind like nobody's business. I couldn't believe it. Thank you. I know. Thanks, Blogger Jen. It's always great to talk to you. She's my favorite blogger. She's the only blogger I read. Thank you, Jen. Awesome. Fantastic. Anonymous, you're talking about masks now. Our county here is enforcing a new mask mandate beginning in a couple of days. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I was actually calling and telling Biggie about the vaccination. I had a friend of mine and his wife went down to the beach with another couple. Mm-hmm. They all four were vaccinated, and then they all four ended up being positive for COVID. And he works in the school system, and he had to quarantine for 10 days. So his question is, why isn't it working? How come they all got vaccinated and it did nothing? They all ended up getting sick anyways. And also in regards to the survival of the smartest, who's to say who's smart or not? No one's doing their own research. They're just going off what the news says. And it is survival of the fittest, because if you're healthy, you're more than likely not going to get it or not have any issues if you do.
Well, let me ask you a couple of questions on your friends and the survival of the smartest. Yes, you're going off the news, but you're going off of scientists and researchers and experts. And I know I would bet most doctors are saying get the vaccine. And secondly, your four friends got COVID, which there are a lot of breakthrough cases now, unfortunately. How sick did they get? How bad was it?
Well, much like most people who get it, they didn't really have any symptoms. So none of them even knew they were sick. It's just they work in the school systems, they had to be tested.
Right,
so,
but I would credit that's the vaccine. A lot of young people get it and are fine, even if they don't have the vaccine. But the ones that are dying are unvaccinated. Let's face facts there. The ones that get it and go on ventilators and die are unvaccinated. And they're overrunning the healthcare system. Your four friends get it. They don't have to go to the hospital. They don't know they have it.
That's the whole thing with the vaccine. The vaccine is keeping you from going to the hospital. It's keeping the hospitals from getting overrun.
Pretty much 100% of the time.
Yes.
Up the high 90s.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing is, yes, there are breakthrough cases. You may get it. Absolutely. Of course. And look what it's doing to Delta. The problem is that the virus keeps mutating all the time.
Well, and
it's going to mutate away around the vaccine. That's what viruses do.
That's the big problem, too. If we don't get vaccinated enough, we were starting with masks, now we go over to vaccines, inevitably. If we don't get vaccinated enough, if those numbers don't go higher, I've learned this from watching TV, then the virus mutates into something worse, and it goes through vaccine. Then you get sick even if you've got the vaccine, and it's all because people didn't get vaccinated to begin with. It's a huge mess. It's really, really disappointing and frustrating that we're in a place.
But see, I'm tired of fighting that mentality.
Well, me too. I agree with you.
So I'm like this now. I'm like, do which one?
Yeah, but
don't look for sympathy.
But we have to suffer because our county at least says
it sucks. Yeah,
it sucks. But I'm with you. Let's go live our lives, and if you don't want it, take your chances, roll the dice. But if it keeps mutating and it gets worse,
then it's going to get worse and
kill us all.
And
not to be down about it, but it could kill us all. Anonymous, you're talking about masks. Go ahead. Are you there?
Yeah, This is the thing, guys. I've been through this whole pandemic. I've never wore a mask. 98% of the people I've worked with haven't worn a mask.
Mm-hmm.
out of 98%, only 3 people have actually had this COVID.
Yeah.
The vaccines do not help.
Well, I think science would really disagree with you. What you're quoting here now is these are, what do they call the anecdotal evidence? You know, just because people around you don't get it and you're not wearing a mask is not evidence of anything. Look at the numbers. I mean, you know, 1 million people are in the United States. 600,000 some people have died of it. You know, people are getting this disease. It's a real thing. Mask probably. I think masks do help. But the vaccine is really what you need. And what you're saying now is not supported by any science.
No.
What you're saying
is a pandemic.
Right. What you're saying is anecdotal Facebook garbage. And that's, unfortunately, your mentality is what's killing people. And Americans are suffering. And it's really not only frustrating, it's disgusting to hear you say stuff like that, because what you're saying is not true. It's an absolute lie.
Okay, well, if it's an absolute lie, why can they not isolate the COVID-19 by itself?
I have no idea.
What does that even mean?
I don't know what you...
Okay, because it don't exist.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you are... See, what...
And it's been proven.
How can you say that? How can you say when so many
How
people...
can I say that? Follow the science. Follow the doctors that they are censoring.
Who? But why don't you follow the 95% of doctors who say get the vaccine and this is real and people are dying and the healthcare system is overrun? Why don't you follow that? Why do you believe the few instead of the many?
Have you not been to the hospital lately? They're not overrun.
Well, I haven't been to the hospital, but from what I understand, there are 6 beds left in Texas. You know, because Texas.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well,
are you getting your news? Are you getting your news from the mainstream?
I get news, yes, from CBS, NBC.
Okay,
ABC.
there's your problem. There's your problem.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
We should get news from your sources.
Where do you get your news?
Goes real good.
Well, where do you get your news?
Look anywhere on DuckDuckGo. One American News. Look at any of the actual uncensored news programs that are out.
But what about all the people that have died? I mean, you're talking about 700,000 people.
Okay,
now.
so you want to tell me that since last year, okay, when this whole thing started, there's not been any heart disease deaths. There hasn't been any AIDS deaths. There hasn't been any flu death. I mean, so really this one miracle virus has killed every other virus.
Well, I don't believe that.
No, that still happens.
I don't believe
all
that.
the time.
But what I'm saying is, I mean, there are so many hundreds of thousands of people that have died, and COVID is there. Now, I'm not even saying all of them. Maybe you're right. Maybe somebody would have died anyway of heart disease. But surely you see that people are dying of it. People are laying in the bed saying, "God, I wish I'd gotten the vaccine. Why didn't I get the vaccine?" Telling their wives, "I'm dying because I didn't get it."
Okay, well, I know 3 people. I won't give their names, and 2 of them work at a well-known truck stop right off 85.
Good source.
But none of this really matters. Whatever you're going to say doesn't matter. I mean, you can look at if you're not going to believe it, we can't even talk to you. I mean, there's no point in talking.
You're
to
not
you.
going to win.
You're never going to. Yeah, this. I think you're the reason that we're in the shape we're in. But thanks for listening.
Yeah.